What's going on, everyone? We are back with another episode of Cranking with Christian. Today we are going to be installing this Garmin EchoMap 93 SV UHD onto the Hobie Pro Angler. I'm going to show you step by step how to put it on that Guardian plate, what the modifications you have to do to it are, and we're going to go through with everything from putting the transducer on, getting the head unit mounted on, and all the power cables and everything. So it'll be all ready after you guys, or after this video, ready to go and get out on the water. So anyways, let's hop into today's video. Alright, so first off, let's break into the box, pull everything out, and get it all ready. So, this is the first time opening up this box. There we go, head unit's right here with the cover plate. So, we are just going to take this out real quick and toss it off to the, well, not toss it, but set it off to the side. And we are going to get into the things that we really care about, which is that transducer. So, this is definitely a lot different than those hummingbirds that I'm used to. I've had a Garmin once in the past, but when you go from hummingbirds and then you come to these, which are so much slimmer, smaller of a casing and everything around the screen and everything, it feels tiny. Got a little sticker in there. Let's see, just talks about the EchoMap, shows the top, bottom, some things about it. And then down here is what we really care about, which is this mount for the EchoMap. And then you've got, let's see, these little foam pieces. I'll have to read the instructions, see what all that's about. And then here you got the transducer, you got the transducer plates, and the power cables right here. And what's this? I'll look up what that is real quick too. So really the only thing we're really going to be worrying about right now is we need that transducer cable, which is right here. So first off, grab your transducer cable out of your kayak, and then you got to grab this mount right here out of your kayak too. I believe this is like the trolling motor mount. I'm not positive, but it's just what I've seen previously when I've watched videos. So we're going to need this mount right here. Next up, you want to grab your Hobie Guardian cover off the bottom of your kayak. To do that, if you guys don't know, you go down, there's a screw here, here, and here. And you're just going to be taking those out. The plate will come right off. When you get this out, you can see these screws right here. These have a flat plate on here. I already took that plate off. You just take these screws off and then you replace it with this hooded member, or the hooded cover for the Guardian plate that it comes with, and you put that on instead. And then in order to get the Guardian system to work correctly to where it lifts up and down, you've got to take out screws here, 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 and here. You'll see them along the edge of the Guardian plate on this side when you actually break it out. So anyways, we need to get this transducer and we need to get it installed on here. So it's going to go on here similar to this right here. So it's going to be setting in here to where it's right by the hood. And as you guys can probably see in here, the cable presses against the plate and we need a place for that cable to get through. So what we are going to be doing is it lines up perfectly with this slot right here in your Guardian plate. So we are going to be taking a Dremel, a file, something, and we're just going to be taking out this middle section of these two slots in order for the wire to fit through there, or the cable to fit through there. So I'm going to figure out something on how to cut that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I figured out what I'm going to do. Get a drill bit. I just found one that is about the same size as what that middle strip is in here. And what I did is I drilled out as much as I can on there. It'll slip down in the groove. And then from when it's in that little spot in the groove, I took a little knife. Really anything will work. And I just kind of chipped away at it, or just kind of sawed away at it until it went through. I'll show you guys on this other side. So let's get this other side done. And actually, that one just went right on through. It didn't even have to use the saw or blade too much. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, probably with the blade or with a piece of sandpaper. But see, there you go. Doesn't look too bad in there. I'll clean it up here in a little bit. But anyways, got that little spot opened up. And now we can move on to the next step. Okay, for the next step, you'll actually need to grab your transducer. So we are going to unwind the transducer right here. And we are going to be working with this to get it mounted on the plate. Since we can't mount it on the top, we are going to use the little mount that I actually showed you that you'll need out of the package to do so. So you'll take the cord, you'll kind of just fit it through here. It's kind of snug, so it'll take a few seconds or a few tries to get it through. So there we go, finally got it through. And then you just want to pull your entire transducer wire through here until you get your transducer up to the plate. All right, there we go. It is up to the plate, and we are going to put it in here like what we want it to be. And it's going to be right here. As you guys can see, the wire fits through, and it fits in there fairly well. And flip it over, and there you go. It's in there fairly well. The tip of it's covered by the plate on the Guardian, and that's where we really want it to be. So now what we are going to be doing is you guys will need a Sharpie or something similar to make an outline, and you want to line it up exactly where you want, make sure it's level or in there correctly, and then you are going to be making an outline around your transducer. Now we are going to pull this transducer out of here since you have the outline of your transducer on there, and move on to the next part. All right, once you have the transducer wire pulled back through, this is where this little mount is going to come into effect. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be lining it up there with the outline from your transducer, and then this is how we're going to be making your drill marks. So to do this, you want to line it up with the lines of the transducer. You can do it really whatever way you want. You can drill the holes with them or with this plate held there, but I would feel more comfortable just lining it up, marking the holes and drilling them out. So let's see. There we go. It's all lined up with the mark or with the points where we thought we wanted the transducer. So we just marked the holes. You guys can see, well, maybe here, 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 and here. The other ones are up here by this plate, and 4 of them will hold it in enough to where you don't need to worry about the other 2. So we're going to be drilling out these holes with the appropriate drill bit, and then we are going to go from there. All right, so in your package that you get from Garmin, you'll find it's this package right here. I believe this is your transom transducer plate, and you'll find this pack with your 6 screws in it, and they will also have little locking nuts in them, or locking washers in them. So you want those out. I'm gonna leave them right here for now, but we need to find a drill bit that lines up with it. So I believe I heard before it's like 3/16 that, oh, nope, it's, okay, so the drill bit it matches up with is a 1/8 drill bit. Put it up to it. It looks like it's pretty close to the size of this little screw. So we are going to swap out the drill bits, and we are going to be drilling out these holes. All right, so it is all drilled out. Now we are going to grab our transducer cable again, and we are going to feed it right back through the same way we did earlier. All right, once you get it back on here, what we are going to be doing is you will grab your little bolts or your little screws right here, put your little washer on it, and we're just going to be lining up the holes and putting it back together. Okay, finally I got it mounted on there. It's a tiny bit crooked, not a big deal though. I had to go through and redo the bolt holes because the first time it was a little bit off. So anyways, I got it all set up now. Now we are going to head over to the kayak and get to the next step. All right, next up we are going to go to this plate right here that's underneath your seat. And we are going to take this off because this has your Guardian transducer cable in it. So we've got to free it up. So let's see. Just go pull it. Pulls loose. And there we go. So from here, we can just leave that dangle down, and then I'm just gonna set this here, and I put it in one tiny little screw just so it doesn't go anywhere, but I can still fit, well, I guess it will go somewhere, but just so we can still fit the transducer cable through. So anyways, what we are gonna do is we're gonna tip the kayak on the side, and then we are going to continue the installation. All right, so first up, we are going to come here, grab our transducer cable, feed it up through the hole, and then you grab it from the top, and you pull it all the way through. Then once that's all the way through, you can come down here, grab this string, and then this is just for your transducer, or for your transducer cover. So you come, I'm going to get it as close as I possibly can to the top so I don't have any play in the transducer plate. So let's see if I can get it any closer than that. And then just tie it. Gonna double knot it. And then just shift this over to the center. And then we can throw this transducer plate back on here. We can grab the screws and just put it right back on. And you don't want to tighten these screws up too much, because if you do, you risk stripping it and you can get a whole other type of issues there. So now we are going to stand the kayak back up and go to the top. Next, once you get that, when you feed it through the hole, I'm going to take this out so it's a little bit easier to deal with. And probably going to have to mess with the foam in the hole a little bit. So let's see if I can get this out of here real quick. So there we go. I got this plastic moved around inside the hole. So you're going to feed your cable down through it, pull it all the way through. Make sure the seal is still right here in your hand, because you're going to need it here in a minute. And just get your transducer wire all the way through, and you want to snug it up enough so it's not going anywhere, but you don't want it to be too snug to where you're going to be pulling on your transducer wire. So there we go. I'm going to leave this much play in here, and then we are going to go ahead, install the new grommet, and get this put back together. So you pop out one of those grommets, hook through the cable right here, put it on this plate, then you just line up all the holes again and screw it back down. And when you tighten these down, make sure not to over tighten them, just because you don't want the seal to flex too much and then it not work correct. So just go, I go not even hand tight, I go till I feel some pressure. Or when you see the seal start to kind of go out a little bit, I just back it off a tiny bit. And there we go. So I'm going to mess with the transducer cable, get it put right back in there how I want, and then move on to the next step. So once I get the transducer cable how I like it, and in there in the back part off, I usually come through and I will try to reinstall these things or put back in all these foam pieces. They can be really tough to put in because of being so tight in here. So on how it was when I got it out, but it's very close. So now what we are going to do, we are going to feed this cable through whichever side you plan on putting your fish finder. For me, I always put it on the left side of my kayak, as you can see with my rainbow right here. So we are going to take out this little seal right here, or this grommet, whatever you want to call it. So you just unscrew the 3, and then take it out. Oh, this one's, there we go, finally. And bring your transducer cable up here. You're just gonna reach around and feed it through. Then you pull it through however much you want, and then I typically take the rest of the transducer cable and I'll fold it up or bring it up however I want, and then I'll put a zip tie around it to hold it nice and clean down in the hull of the kayak. So just like this, I'm going to go grab a zip tie, get this, and I also need to grab the power cable now. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to throw this over on the side just so it's out of the way. Actually, we'll throw it on this side since that's the side the transducer's on. It's out of the way, and we can continue with the install. So here is the power cord. You'll see it's got that same clip as the other power cord does, the weird clips on them. But at the other end, where all the cables are, there's the typical black for your ground, your red for your power cable, and then you got this brown and a blue cable too. These are for the NMEA connectors. I'm not going to do anything with those right now. So I am going to just use some electrical tape, tie each one off, and then tie these together just so they're out of the way. Alright, and from here we can feed these cables right down through the hole, and you can just face them towards the front because that's where I'm going to have my battery at, or face them wherever you guys are going to have your battery, and just feed it back down through. And from here we're going to do the same thing that we did with the seal on the back, and we are going to find the grommet that fits both of these cables. So we didn't have any that fit both of them perfect, so I'm going to be using this a little bit bigger one for the transducer cable. It's bigger than what I want to use, but it's okay. I'll have to use it for now. So take the two full grommets out. You're going to want to feed the seal over both of these wires, or both of these cables. And then, same thing as we did earlier. You just feed, or you put these seals into the seal, or the main seal plug, whatever it is. Then you line everything up, and you just screw it right back on in. Now, both of these cables, it's got some play in it, so I can pull it out and use it how I need to. So I'm going to go ahead, grab my ram mount, get everything put together on my ram mount, bring it out, and get this set exactly to the length I need. Alright everyone, so the last step in doing this is going to be connecting your battery to your fish finder. So I've got to go grab my connector out of my other kayak, and then I'm going to get that done. I'm pretty sure you guys probably know how to connect a red wire to a red wire and a black wire to a black. So I'm going to skip that. But I'm going to go get this installed, and let's turn it on and make sure everything's working good. Alright guys, it is the next day. Camera ended up dying while I was filming the ending where I was going to turn on my fish finder, and my Noqua battery that I used for my fish finder was dead. So we are out here at a pond. We're going to test it out today for another video that's going to be uploaded here soon. But anyways, I was going to show you guys this thing and turn it on for you and just show you how everything turned out. So right here, hold it, you can hear it beep, turns right on, and it'll go through some setup stuff right here. It'll have you click OK. When you first turn it on, it makes you go through all the presets, like your water depth or your minimum water depth you want to go in, it's just a bunch of stuff, your language and all that. So I've already done that. It's loading the maps right now. It'll ask me to hit OK, and then it'll turn right on. And there we go, there's my maps right there. If you guys can see it, I'm not sure. Probably a little bit hard because of the sun and everything. So it's all touchscreen, so hit home, it'll go back, and then I can select everything that I want to use. So that's basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video about setting this up. I know this wasn't my idea of how to set this up. I watched another video when I got this. There was only one video I could find, so that's why I decided to make another video. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully this helped you guys set up your Garmin EchoMap, and we will see you guys in the next video when we test this out here on this pond. So thank you guys for watching.